Hey guys, how's it going? Eric Reeder, and it's a special edition tonight of my daily lives. Tonight's a special edition to really investigate what, why, and how I've ended up enjoying 22 plus years of an unbelievably incredible marriage that has continued to go deeper and wider, as the old song says, but go deeper and deeper and deeper into enjoyment and fun and closeness and understanding and freedom and acceptance and embrace and fulfillment, increasingly going further and further. And it's almost like every year it feels like, how does it get even better than this? That's not to say there hasn't been tough moments. There's not to say that there hasn't been hurdles. There's been a lot of them. It's not to say that there hasn't been difficulties. There's been plenty of them. We've been knocked down plenty of enough times that maybe even perhaps it's been our time through that has empowered us to even move into the depths of what we currently are experiencing. But again, in 22 and a half years, it's unfortunate that the statistics don't really prove out to show that the majority of people have an encounter in relationship, an encounter in marriage and family at the strength and the power and the depth and the freedom and the embrace and the fulfillment that we're experiencing. It doesn't mean we're better than anyone else. It doesn't mean that there's some magic sauce that we have bottled up secretly over there that nobody else has. Oftentimes, it really is the old saying that is so true. You only get out of something what you put into it. And so we had determined clear back at the very beginning when we were 19 years old, just getting engaged. Hey, Dion. Hey, guys. Good to see you. Hey, Kat. Hey, Jennifer. Thanks for jumping in tonight. It was back at 19 years old when we were getting engaged and 20 years old stepping into marriage. We made some serious dedication and promises to each other that we were unwilling to back up on. And we made some significant determination that we would be willing to work and do whatever it takes to experience the fullness of what we signed up for. We went into it, and sometimes it feels amazing, even at 20 years old, we went into marriage with a significant amount of clarity on what we were interested in experiencing together. We had no idea what we were going to encounter over 2 decades that would challenge that. We had no idea what it would be like to have 4 children. We were married 8 years prior to having our first child. So we were pretty well adjusted in life just with us. And then there's 4 children that come along out of that changes a whole lot of dynamics, right? We had all kinds of up and downs with job loss and finance loss and all kinds of heartaches with rejection and being pushed away and friends turning on you and backstabbing and stuff being said of you and lied on you that was totally not the situation, and abusive situations from leaderships and ministries that we are a part of. A lot of really, really challenging stuff, but we walked through so many things because we had spent the time and made the investments to foundation ourselves on very significant principles of what love can flourish to be like if you walk in it at the fullness of what you're going after. And we're unwilling to settle for anything else. I recently told a spiritual son of mine, someone I've mentored now for the past 3-4 years, who's stepping into a new relationship of significance. I was messaging with him just the other day, and I said to him, Angela and I have something that most don't, because we've been willing to do what most have been unwilling to do. And it's not that someone can't or that you can't. It's just that perhaps you maybe didn't even have the tools brought to you or the tools in your hand to even utilize. Hey, Miles, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in here. Maybe you haven't even had the opportunity. Some of the things that we've been able to have come into our life and into our hands to build upon and utilize and build with, we've been able to experience some things that maybe perhaps you didn't have the opportunity to do or the opportunity to have. So I thought tonight I would share a few of the key tips. Matter of fact, the top 5 tips, top 5 keys to what I believe has empowered Angela and I to experience love and relationship and fulfillment and depth and connection and intimacy that we probably honestly had no idea that it could even be this way. And it's amazing that it is so true how much better it can get the longer you go if you're doing the right practices of love. If you don't, right? Unfortunately, the story goes a different direction. But so let me get to this tonight because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know it's a day celebrating love and a day focused on one another. So I thought I would add this to you for this special edition tonight to talk about how does love get this way. And so here's 5 key tips, 5 key points that Angela and I have walked out. Number 5 is that we celebrate the difference and utilize our strength. I could talk all night about each one of these, but the reality is it's really not about us figuring out how to become a lot alike. It's about us learning how to celebrate our differences, because it very much so is the strength of opposites attract, right? And when you begin to utilize and realize and be aware of those differences, celebrate them, and then utilize the strength of the other brought together, the force in which you get to move as a couple, as a marriage, as a family, as a home becomes unlimited, because you are bringing the fullness of each other to the table. Listen, I've never believed in she completes me or I complete her. I've never believed that I bring 50% and she bring. Listen, we're 100% people bringing 100% of ourselves into this thing together. So that's number 5. Number 4 is that we embraced. Sorry, let me make sure I'm reading my notes right. We embraced the purpose of our marriage. Listen, there's a reason, there's a design behind your marriage. If you haven't discovered that, or if you've never thought of it that way, there's a reason that Angela and I are married. There's a purpose behind it. In other words, there's a why we got married, which it was something that was beyond and bigger than just us being 2 19 and 20-year-old kids who thought each other were good looking and enjoyed one another and thought we could build some fairy tale future together, right? Like everybody does in those moments. It was something much bigger than that. It had a whole lot more to it than us just having fun times and enjoying one another. It had a whole lot to do with what we can bring to the world, what we can contribute to the earth, how we can make an impact that nobody else can make except her and I together. And so we embraced that from the very beginning, and we became very clear and aware of our purpose and our why. Listen, this is some valuables. I'm dropping some value bombs up in here on you guys tonight for anybody in marriage, looking to be married, that's been married for a short time, long time. These are some powerful things that you need. You got to figure out your why. Why are you in that relationship? Not just for you, but why is that relationship even designed to be together? Listen, I got to hurry. Sorry. Number 3 is that we really embrace, there's of course a very popular book by this title that has some amazing input on it, is the reality is we really discovered his needs, her needs. Yep, that's right. We really invested time and energy and focus and dialogue and conversation after conversation of discovering his needs, her needs, my needs, Angela's needs, what it is that I need, the way I'm designed, the way I'm wired, what it is that she needs by the way that she's wired and she's designed, right? Here's a real rocket science tip for you. You're not designed the same. Right? You're not wired the same, so it's going to be totally different. And so learning that, investing the time to discover that, and then being willing to love the other enough to say, I'm the one who's willing to contribute towards helping those needs be handled so that you flourish and so that you become everything that you were designed to be. Listen, I signed up for life with Angela because I didn't want to trust the potential I saw in her for anyone else. I didn't want to leave her in the hands of anyone else. I had to be the one to take responsibility for the greatness that I saw in her, and I was unwilling to leave that for someone else. I wanted to spend my life giving everything that I've got towards seeing her maximize the quality and the beauty and the magnificence and the power and the brilliance that she is. I wanted to be the one who was able to give into that for them my entire life, to see that flourish. And so that becomes how you give towards one another. So listen, I'm running out of time tonight. I've got my top 2 keys that I want to get to you, but you're going to have to send me a message over in Messenger to get them. I don't have enough time left tonight. Direct message me, inbox me over in Messenger, and I'll send you my top 2 tips on how Angela and I have experienced 22 years and still loving and falling in love more and more on a constant basis. We're with you. We're behind you. I want to see your relationship flourish. So get the top 2 tips. Have a great night.